How to properly plant a tree, from tree prep to mulching. When planting a tree, there are several steps that you can take to give your tree the best possible chance at living a long and healthy life. Prepping the tree. First, remove everything artificial from the tree. This includes ribbons, tags, twine, and any staking or support that came attached to the tree. If you are at a Keep Indianapolis Beautiful planting, please leave the species tag on the tree. We will come back and remove the tag once we GPS the tree. Before the tree goes into the ground is a great time to prune off dead branches, broken branches, and diseased branches. This is because you have the opportunity to lay the tree down if you can't reach the canopy. Note, if you are at a KIB planting, the KIB staff will do this step. If you are planting in your own yard, this is a step you should take. Next, remove the container the tree came in. If the tree came in a plastic pot, pull the pot off the roots. It can help to push or tap on the pot to loosen the root ball before pulling it out. Check to make sure there is no plastic or paper tarping on the bottom of the root ball. If the tree came in a white bag, cut the sides of the bag with a knife or scissors and pull down. Remove the entire bag from the roots. If the tree came in a burlap sack, be sure to remove all of the burlap. If there is a mesh bag underneath the burlap, use a knife to cut the mesh bag and pull it away. You may need to use pruners to cut roots that are embedded in the mesh. Removing all root packing material is an important step for allowing the roots to move freely into the soil. Root work. Once the container is removed, it is now time to start looking for the first main order root or root flare. This is the first substantial root you will see at the base of the tree. Use your hands to pull back the soil around the trunk to find the main order root. If you can't pull back the soil with your hands, a soil knife is a helpful tool for getting down to the root flare. You may have to dig down into the soil several inches before you find this root. With the main order root exposed, check for any circling or girdling roots over the main order root. On this tree, we found a smaller, circling root that is wrapping around the trunk. Use pruners to completely remove this root. Another larger root is also problematic. While it is not currently touching the trunk, it will grow larger and will eventually strangle the trunk, cutting off the tree's ability to take in water and nutrients. Use pruners to cut the root at the point where it starts to circle. Now it is time to look at the roots on the sides of the root ball. If there are matted or circling roots, use an arbor saw to shave off these roots so that you can see root tips sticking out around the entire root ball. Cutting these circling roots will keep the roots from continuing to circle once the tree is in the hole, and instead allow them to now move out horizontally into the soil. Digging the hole. It is now time to start digging the hole. The rule of thumb is to dig a hole twice as wide as the root ball and just as deep. You want the main order roots at grade or ground level. To make sure you get a hole wide enough, place the tree where you will plant it and dig in a circle around the tree. Use a shovel to lift up the sod around the tree. Once you have established the outer edge of your hole, move the tree and start to scrape off the remaining sod. Put the sod in one pile for later use. Next, start to dig the hole, putting the soil in a separate pile from the sod. You will want to dig the hole just as deep as the root ball. If the tree is planted too deeply, girdling roots can form over the main order root and choke the tree. Once you think you are close enough to the right depth, stop digging and measure the hole. You can do this by placing one shovel across the hole. Take another shovel next to the root ball and grab the shovel where the base of your hand is level with the root flare. Keeping your hand on the second shovel, check to make sure your hand lines up with the height of the shovel over the hole. This will give you a good idea if the main order roots are at grade. Before you place the tree into the hole, fracture the sides of the hole. You can do this with a shovel or a pickaxe by digging into the sides and pulling up. This will break up the soil, allowing the roots to move out more freely. It is time to place the tree in the hole. To make sure you have the correct depth, place a shovel across the top of the root ball and check that the main order roots line up with the top of the hole. With the tree in the hole, take a look at the tree from two perpendicular directions to make sure it is straight up and down. If you need to make adjustments, add soil under the root ball to help tilt the tree in the right direction. Once the tree is placed where it will be planted, fill the hole with the soil you removed earlier. As you add soil, step between the root ball and the hole to lightly compress the soil and keep the tree from moving around in the hole. Keep the area well cared for. Rake as much dirt as you can out of the grass and into the hole. As you are adding the soil, make sure the main order roots remain exposed. After all the soil is back in the hole, take the pieces of sod and put them grass side down in a circle on the perimeter of the hole. Grass side down will kill the grass and keep it from popping up through the mulch. Keep the sod pieces outside of the root ball area so that rain can easily penetrate into the roots. Also, avoid stacking the sod so as not to create a high burn. Mulching. Now it is time for mulch. We often see this kind of mulching called volcano mulching. Mulch stacked up against the tree can lead to serious problems. First, this covers the root flare and can encourage roots looking for water to move up into the mulch and girdle the tree. Second, when it rains, even in a heavy rain, the water won't be able to penetrate through the mulch and into the roots. To avoid this, pull the mulch away from the root flare and create a wide and flat donut shape around the tree. We generally do not put any mulch over the root ball to allow light rain to reach the roots. Along with allowing water into the root area, a wide mulch ring helps keep mowers and string trimmers a safe distance from the tree. Watering. Now that you have taken the extra steps to ensure the longevity of your tree, be sure to water it once a week, April through October, for the first 3 years the tree is in the ground. A young tree typically needs 15 gallons at each watering or at least 1 inch of rain.